Hi everyone and welcome to a new video where we are going to explore another great old recording together. The artist that I would like to present today is Fritz Kreisler. A lot of you have already written in comments Fritz Kreisler because Fritz Kreisler is just an all-time favorite. What I would like to make sure is that my videos are rather short to present those performers. Those performers would need years of presentation in order to really understand their art and to feel their music, to listen all the music that they have. So I am just doing a very, very, very small and short presentation for each one of them with the hope that after those videos you will sit and just explore and learn more about them by yourself. A little subject that I would like to talk about with you before we listen to the Kreisler recording is the vibrato. There has been a lot of studies done by many different teachers and music theorists about vibrato. How should it be used? When should it be used? Where should it be used? Let's say in historical understandings. I personally think that any kind of study is important and any kind of research is important. So whenever you do some kind of research, you're already on the right way. I myself played few years, for example, all kind of Baroque music, almost without vibrato at all. I even tried to do that at some point to learn to minimize the vibrato in classical music, in Mozart, sometimes in Beethoven as well, just to reach a total control of the right hand of the sound, to know what am I doing with the sound so that I make the music expressive enough without the use of vibrato. For those who hear me play today, you will obviously notice that I am not anymore playing without vibrato. Bach, for example, or even Mozart, obviously. I do use vibrato, but I try to still combine and mix it with a perfect amount of right hand technique so that it fits sometimes the expressivity straight and only from the sound, and sometimes with the vibrato. Although there is one little element that I would like to share with you, which was always interesting to me. This comes from Francesco Geminiani. I don't know if you know this book. That's a very nice introduction to violin playing from one of the greatest first music theorists that ever existed. So just so that you, if you didn't hear about him before, he was kind of contemporary of Bach. Bach was born in 1685, as everyone knows already, I hope. And Geminiani was born 2 years later, in 1687. What Geminiani says about the violin playing is extremely interesting, and I guess we will make another video only about that in a later time. There is one thing though that I would like to share with you from this book. It is what he says about the vibrato, because the vibrato he called back then the close shake. I'll just read that through, and I will write that also in the description so that you can read it at any moment. This cannot possibly be described by notes as in my former examples, because he describes everything what he wants in his teaching with examples. To perform it, you must press the finger strongly upon the string of the instrument and move the wrist in and out slowly and equally. When it is long continued swelling the sound by degrees, drawing the bow nearer to the bridge and ending it very strong, it may express majesty, dignity, etc. But making it shorter, lower, and softer, it may denote affliction, fear, etc. And when it is made on short notes, it only contributes to make their sound more agreable, and for this reason, it should be made use of as often as possible. Wow, so close, shake. Nice way to explain the vibrato. Now that we have this kind of idea about what was this approach, and this is my research, I have another book that I would like to share later on with you, some insights as well. That one is from Mozart. That's my research about vibrato. That even someone like Geminiani, Francesco Geminiani, who wrote beautiful violin sonatas, by the way, to be played with basso continuo, can be keyboard, can be just cello, and harmonies in the strings, is very, very, very beautiful, very pure, very elegant as well, kind of music, Italian, beautiful. I recommend it to all interested players. What we realize now is that this is as well a research which tells us, okay, that's how one could perceive the violin playing back then. This is Italian, and he spent a lot of his time in United Kingdom. So does it really have something to do with Bach? That's a good question. The only thing is that it has to do with violin. So let's see, what does Kreisler show us with his playing, with his emotions, with his Bach. We're going to listen to Adagio from the first sonata in G minor by Fritz Kreisler. Enjoy. Wow, what a playing. Um, Kreisler, probably everyone knows Kreisler for his very, very, very famous pieces that he wrote for violin solo with piano and sometimes violin totally solo. Fantastic miniatures, extremely beautiful pieces. But what a violinist himself. That's even another aspect that should never be forgotten. How did Kreisler play the violin himself? Very often, when you say his name, whenever there is a discussion, oh, is it Heifetz, Oistrakh, or Ellman, or this or that, and we start to quote many violinists, oh, but there's Schering and Milstein. But somehow, whenever someone says Kreisler, everyone smiles. There is not much to say. There's not really an argument. Kreisler doesn't really come in all this same category. If it has to do with his personality, if it has to do with his compositions, or if it just has to do with his tone, I cannot really say. I don't know, but this is something I've noticed, that Kreisler is something else. And in this particular recording where Kreisler plays Bach, I think this is when I just hear only the true sound and playing of a man who believes more than anything else in this music and in the composer. I see a total devotion, total faith. I hear such a natural and strong approach to this genius music, which is the first Adagio, which starts all the violin sonatas. To refer once more to this vibrato stuff, as you notice, obviously, Mr. Kreisler didn't ask himself to vibrate or not to vibrate. He uses the vibrato as the most natural and beautiful element, as Francesco Geminiani said, to be used as often as possible. In the art of Kreisler, one starts to get used to his vibrato, not because, oh, he plays this vibrato or this vibrato, it's just natural part of his tone. I had once an amazing advice from my former teacher when I asked him, yeah, but how shall I vibrate here? Shall I vibrate faster? Shall I vibrate slower? Shall I have a wider vibrato? Should I have a more narrow vibrato? Actually, what Geminiani talks about as well. Obviously, it depends what kind of character do you want to show. But my teacher back then told me one beautiful sentence, which I try to still remember today and to give forward to my own students, which was, the vibrato has to come from your heart. It sounds a bit big and very poetic, but there is, I guess, not one single better way to put it than this one. Because, first of all, you have to have a heart. You cannot just decide with your brain what you're gonna do with your vibrato. No, to have a heart means to have what Kreisler showed us right now: total devotion, faith, beauty should be there for you. You should be totally devoted. And I'm not talking about beauty as just something beautiful. I'm talking the beauty of this process of being devoted and of feeling faith towards the music you're playing. And if you manage to feel those things, if you manage to feel this devotion and this faith, you will most likely start to vibrate in a way that is natural, honest, and true to who you are and to what you want to express with this music. I think I talked already in former videos about searching, researching, and learning about the music that you're playing. This is very important in order to also have a proper approach to the music you play, so that if your true and honest relationship to a piece is something that is actually a little bit out of place because it's not really connected to the period or to the spirit of the composer, this could be a little bit of a problem for the audience, because then they would feel, oh, but somehow the relation to the piece from this performer is somehow a little bit misplaced. This is a matter of feeling. People will feel that. But if you have a proper approach, or a teacher who helps you out with this approach, then you can start to express what is dear to your heart, and most likely you will not be wrong. Another aspect of Kreisler's playing, which is fascinating, is his pulse. The pulse, and I did a video almost only on pulse with Madame Marguerite Long. This one is even more impressive, with all the freedoms of vibrating and shifting and singing that he has. He has an unbeatable pulse. I guess that's, for me, one of the most impressive, most powerful, most beautiful, and honest, sincere interpretations of this Bach from the older recordings. So I hope you liked his playing as much as I do. I hope you enjoyed this recording, and I hope you enjoyed also my little insight about this whole combination. I will think about the next video for you guys, and I hope I will see you soon. All best.